the last time we saw Novak Djokovic on a tennis court, or even in press conference, actually, he had injured himself, and now we've had some information on the extent of that injury, and when he will be out. Now it's not completely definitive at the moment. We think he's going to be okay for the French Open, but he's potentially out until Rome or Madrid. So it doesn't feel like the sunshine swing is a realistic prospect for Novak Djokovic, but possibly the clay season. We will see him on the red clay. I mean, what do you make of this news, Chris, in terms of, like, as I say, the Djokovic momentum, Australian Open, and now this happening? What does it mean for Djokovic?
Well, the positive thing is that there are some changes to the news. Obviously, when it was released, we all thought this is a tear. It looks pretty bad on the scans. We all kind of we all upskilled ourselves in what actually we were looking at from a hamstring X-ray. I'd not seen one before. I now do.
I loved how he put it on his socials, like his for all the experts. It just felt like it had been written by Andy Murray.
It kind of did. Maybe he was involved with that.
I feel like he actually did it. He just like hijacked his account.
Yeah, because I mean, Murray's done it before, and it also tonally feels a little bit less Djokovic,
Yes.
but more Murray. That's a conspiracy theory that we're working on. Until it's officially denied or confirmed, we will stick with that, Joel. But I think it's positive news that there is talk that he could come back sooner. I don't see that happening because he does also say, and he has said very clearly, that he is pretty much only going to get out of bed and make his priorities the national team and the slams. And then when he needs form or potentially ranking points that will help him get a better seeding, a bit of a better draw, because you do want to avoid the Sinners, the Alcarazes when you do play in these sorts of matches. But I mean, would I play or do I see him playing Indian Wells in Miami? I really don't. I don't think it makes sense.
I mean, to me, I was actually looking a little bit further than that, and I was thinking about the clay in relation to the grass court season, because still, to me, Wimbledon is his biggest chance of winning another Grand Slam title. And similar to maybe Andy Murray, the things that he was going through, towards the end of his career, that ultimatum basically, do I risk putting my body through the rigors of the red clay, which is one of the more physically demanding surfaces, and sort of risk maybe picking up an injury or putting a lot of effort and wear and tear in my body, so I'm not maybe 100% for the grass season? Or do I just go all in and put priority on the grass? I don't know if we're there just yet, but I feel like that could be quite an interesting ultimatum potentially Djokovic might be facing, but hopefully he would come back sooner.
I mean, that is quite interesting because that obviously was where the injury that caused so much trouble to the rest of his season happened. He did still make the Wimbledon final, but he was wearing that knee support for quite some time. So clay, as you say, Murray skipped it before, prioritizing one more slam. And maybe that is what would make most sense, unless you feel like you are physically completely fine for it. But the reality is you will get more injuries as you get older. You can't really avoid it. You can't stop that from happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see him on the clay. But do I think he's going to play the French Open? I think he's going to play the majors. I think if Djokovic is in a major draw, I think he's going to think he has a shot at winning it. And I also think going into Wimbledon, Murray did this a couple of times. You might just want some match practice, and that might be more of a warm up for Wimbledon than actually like the ambition of winning the French, where he hasn't had the most success previously.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting, obviously, Andy Murray in his camp, he's been through this decision making a lot, so it's definitely going to be a voice that he listens to. So we'll keep all our listeners posted on Novak Djokovic and what happens to him going forward.